time and get a good bag, in his words, right? Make some money. So you've got to take the step up and fight opponents like this.
And fight the biggest name.
Absolutely.
And Charles Martin was the biggest name on the list.
There's also a southpaw heavyweight that's got a couple belts up there in Alexander Usyk. So the more of these guys he can get on his resume from that stance, the better. That's the way I see it, at least. Round 6 in this scheduled 8-rounder. Dre, do you have Tucker or Flaz up at this point? I know we're not scoring round by round, but through the first 5.
I think Tucker should be up in this fight, but I'm not liking the inconsistencies in Tucker. I'm not liking the lack of discipline in Tucker. I see good moments, and when you watch his fights, he's got flashes of a lot of potential where you want to see more of that, and then he'll go away from it. Then he'll come back to something good, then he'll go away from it. That's my biggest concern with Tucker, and I'm seeing this fight in and fight out, and I'm not seeing that improved, at least thus far. So up in this fight, but could be doing better.
As he gets back to the jab a little bit more here in round 6. That distance and ducking shots right there is, I think, a little bit more of where he's been effective, at least offensively.
But then he'll do well. Now he's inviting Flaz to come get him. It's like, that's not, you got to be consistent.
There's a double jab.
That's what separates the good fighters from the great fighters, and the guys that actually get to that level and stay there is consistency. Can you do the same things over and over and over again and not lose focus?
Baiting gets caught with a left hand from Flaz. Neither fighter's been hurt. Neither fighter's been down. Left hand connects for Flaz, and Tucker using a lot of feints with that lead foot, but you'd think that he could throw some jabs behind those feints too, even to just get Flaz thinking.
I agree.
Like, why not shoot a shot right there?
He freezes the opponent, and he's not following up. And that punch right there is the punch you want to start to follow up with after a good feint. The jab.
Round 6 comes to an end, and kind of a round it seems like, Dre, both fighters were content and taking off.
They made a silent agreement.
Tucker's father saying what we've been saying the whole time as well, is that you're out there just dancing out there and let your hands go.
He's telling him right. And if I'm Flaz, I'm trying to take advantage of this moment. He's coming off of a big win coming into this fight. It's the biggest name that he's fought. He's had some good moments. Keep pressing. He's taken his foot off the gas in the last 2 rounds. He's not going to be given anything from the judges. He's going to have to take it, and he's got 2 rounds to do it.
So true. Flaz has kind of fought at the same speed and the same work rate the entire time. Why not take it to the next gear, take it up a notch, and try to quote-unquote steal one, if you will. Tucker down low to the body to start that combination with a jab. Flaz answering back. Back shot on the back of the head twice there from Tucker, as Flaz doesn't seem to mind. Sticks his tongue out a little bit like, okay, let's go.
Good little sneaky right hand to the body from Tucker. I think Flaz is fatigued, which is why he's not throwing very many punches, and he's sort of conceded to just survive and hang around. He will throw every now and again, but he's not consistent like he was in the first 3 rounds.
Flaz doing a lot of work, but not with anything that has made Jahi Tucker even think twice about not standing in close quarters with him.
Not at all. Tucker does not respect the power of Flaz at all, which is why he has no problem allowing Flaz to hit him just like that, and no problem staying that close to Flaz the way that he has.
And I've seen some of those right hands by Tucker drop other guys before too. And you know, Flaz is just one of those guys where he's just durable, taking all these shots. And you know, I just don't. I mean, that's good work to the body there from Flaz, and he was effective early, but nothing as of late has had Jahi worried. And Jared Anderson is excited to be fighting here in his hometown of Toledo, Ohio, a place where he grew up and created special memories. And he took us on a tour earlier this week of his childhood home and where you grew up, and appreciate that access from Jared Anderson, who's coming up later in our main event. But before that, we got Tyler McCreary, Almashadi, Ware, Benjamin. I mean, an Ohio stacked card here on ESPN Plus before we get to the main portion of our show over on ESPN at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. We hope you'll stick with us. Myself, Bernardo Osuna, Tim Bradley, Andre Ward, and Mark Kriegel. Right now, our first fight of the night, and eighth and final round in what hasn't been the most exciting performance, especially what we saw from both of these guys in their last contest. Both Flaz and Tucker came out of great fights, their fights before this. And
hey, we've had some good moments from both guys, especially early in this fight within the first 3 rounds, but just very uneven from Tucker, very uneven from Flaz. But the burden is on the younger fighter. The burden is on the fighter who has the name and the amateur experience. So for him, I think this was a little bit of a missed opportunity to really shine and do his thing.
And he just got hit with the right hand to the body from Flaz, and Tucker shook off a shot earlier that he didn't seem too happy with. Blocking some of those shots there and answering back with the left hand. There's a nice right hand when he slipped under and shot a counter, but staying right there in the corner. You mentioned it earlier, Dre, not the best spot for him.
Yeah, he just looks flat tonight. His father's asking for something that he doesn't seem to be able to call up physically. And mentally, they're not connecting with the game plan. So tonight is not the best showing for Jahi Tucker. He's still got a lot of room, a lot of upside to grow, but these fights are going to get tougher and tougher, and he's not going to always fight a Flaz who doesn't have power. The danger is when he's fighting guys like he did in his last fight who can actually crack and has the potential to hurt him.
Yeah.
Work out of there. Let him go. Work out of there. Work out of there. Let him go.
Now, at that point, the mistakes are glaring now. Now they have the potential to derail your career or set you back because if you don't tighten up. So he's got to tighten up on these mistakes and these holes.
Both have hit fast forward on the punch button right here in the corner as they are exchanging back and forth with rapid combinations.
They can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
I mean,
the fight's almost over.
They saved it for now. And some blood now from the right eyebrow of Flaz. Oh, that's a bummer. Just under a minute to go and you get a cut. Body work here from Flaz as Tucker moves around the outside.
I said stop. Let's go.
Melton called stop. Jahi didn't want to, and there's the bell.
Center, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Mike Fitzgerald scores the bout 76-76. Tony Martin scores the bout 78-74. Robin Vargas scores the bout 77-75. For your winner by majority decision, Nicklaus Flaz.
And Nicklaus Flaz gets the majority decision in what we said was a close fight.
I'm not sure about that one.
One judge scores it a draw, 78-75.